Today we want to cover a few tips that you should know about in order to get the most out of your camera. The camera that we're going to use as an example is a Canon 5D Mark III, so some of these tips may be Canon specific and maybe even model specific, but they're good to know in case you're ever using a camera that has these functions available.
First is custom shooting modes. Here on the Mark III, we have 3 different modes which we can customize. This is perfect for people that like to switch between shooting both photos and video because you often have very different camera settings for each. For example, I can dial in my settings for shooting video, which at 24 frames per second, I would change my shutter speed to be 1/50th of a second, and then I can close my aperture to compensate. Once the shutter speed, aperture, and ISO are exactly where I want it, I'll go to the menu, select custom shooting mode, and register settings. Then I'll select C1 and click OK. Now I can have my normal manual mode be set to the perfect settings for photos, which usually is a wider aperture and a faster shutter speed. And then when I want to switch to shooting video, I just have to switch the dial to C1. This is way simpler than having to adjust each setting individually when you're out shooting. You can also use this for situations where you need drastically different settings. For instance, you could have C1 set to outdoor settings, and then you could have C2 set to be perfect for indoor shooting. So that way you can quickly switch as needed. The other thing we want to cover is back button focusing. Most DSLRs by default focus by half pressing the shutter release button. This can be super limiting because you may want to recompose your shot after you focus. So we'll go to our custom controls and change our shutter release button to just metering start. We use AF on to focus, so we'll make sure that's set to metering and AF start. You can also customize other buttons as well. For instance, we never use the depth of field preview button on the front of the camera, so we could set that to start movie recording or something else that's far more useful. This last tip isn't super exciting, but it can help you save time navigating through menus, and that's creating your own custom menu. You can put your most used menu items together all in one page, so you don't have to scroll through menu pages after menu pages to find what you're looking for. Here I have all the settings I usually end up adjusting on a regular basis, so customize it to your own needs and save yourself a little bit of time.
Thanks for watching. We hope you found these tips helpful. Just so you know, this was actually the 4th video we put out this week, so if you haven't seen the others, be sure to check those out. Give us a like and subscribe if you aren't already, and we'll see you next week.